traitor who puts my dad into the hands of a death.
Do you remember the steaming Netflix movie 365 Days? Well, the latest chapter in this erotic thriller series is now streaming on Netflix. But do you think this sequel will satisfy your craving for drama and passion? Let's find out. You can now watch 365 Days this day, the sequel to the hit erotic thriller 365 Days, on Netflix, which was released on April 27, 2022. Michele Morrone and Anna Maria Sieklucka returned to deliver 110 minutes of sensual and erotic visuals. Directed by Barbara Białowaz and Tomasz Mendes, the movie is based on the second novel of the acclaimed trilogy by Polish author Blanka Lipinska, titled This Day. The middle part of Netflix's popular 365 Days trilogy continues the forbidden love story, introducing Massimo's ex and his abandoned twin brother into the scene, making the plot even more complicated and interesting for the viewers. You will finally discover what happens next in the lives of gangster Massimo and his lady love Laura after the previous film ended on a cliffhanger, leaving you wondering if they will get married. 365 Days This Day picks right up where the first part ended, with Laura entering the tunnel attack at the end of the first movie. However, with the release of the next sequel, it was clear that Laura survived the accident. The second part of the movie continues with the marriage of Laura and Massimo. But before marrying Massimo, Laura reveals to her best friend Olga that she hasn't told him about her pregnancy. Despite new, dull storylines and steamy scenes, the movie concludes on a bitter note with another cliffhanger. As expected, the film does not disappoint in delivering the hot chemistry between Massimo and Laura. The thoughtfully crafted erotic scenes provide you with an intense and pleasing experience. So coming back to the plot, the two get married and have a lot of sex on their honeymoon. The only person who knows about the baby Laura lost is her friend Olga, who has been busy lately having sex with Massimo's associate Domenico. But the marriage quickly cracks as Massimo changes back to his old ways and Laura refuses to go along with all of his demands. It doesn't help matters that Olga gets together with Domenico, Massimo's new right-hand man, who took over from Mario when he retired, blaming himself for Laura's accident. Olga and Domenico get engaged at Christmas and seem happy together, further highlighting the spark between Laura and Massimo. After the honeymoon, Laura quickly becomes bored with her housewife role, while Massimo is off doing mafia things. Massimo insists he is keeping her safe, but a distance in the relationship forms, and Laura starts flirting with Massimo's sexy gardener, Nacho. When she runs into Nacho outside a party, he takes her away to his father's house in Spain. While the two get close in Spain, Massimo is back in Italy meeting up with Anna, who wants to unite their families. He refuses and accuses her of the reason behind Laura's sudden departure. You might think it's strange since Anna and Massimo were supposedly together, right? But just when you think everything's perfect, it becomes worse. During a party, Laura sees Massimo leaving with his former lover Anna and catches them in an intimate moment. Laura, feeling heartbroken and betrayed, leaves Massimo and goes to stay with Nacho. Little does she know it was not her husband that Anna was having sex with, but his twin brother. However, Laura actually saw Anna with Massimo's twin brother, Adriano, whom Laura has no idea about because Massimo refuses to talk about his abandoned brother. Adriano is distinguishable by his hairstyle, unlike Massimo's slicked-back look, and he clicks his tongue before every line of dialogue. The plan was for Anna and Adriano to pick up Laura after the party, but she ended up going away with Nacho. Believing Massimo was cheating on her, Laura starts an affair with Nacho. It turns out Nacho is the son of a mafia boss himself, Don Fernando Matos, and is one of Massimo's rivals. Well, it seems like it was Don Matos planning the tunnel attack at the end of the first movie, and now he, Anna, and Massimo's twin brother are trying to force Massimo to hand over the family mafia business to Adriano, whom they can more easily control. This revelation doesn't go well for Laura. Later, Nacho discloses that he's the son of Don Matos, the head of the local mafia and the rival of her husband's family. But Nacho doesn't want to be like his father and tries to convince Laura that his feelings for her are genuine. She's had enough, given her recent relationships, but is still forced to attend a meeting with Nacho's father, where Massimo will also be present. But Don Matos wants to use Laura to convince Massimo to give up control of the family to his twin brother. Massimo hasn't been paying attention to their warnings such as Laura's accident, and Adriano would be more controllable for Don Matos. However, Massimo refuses since Adriano was responsible for their father's death. Unfortunately, Laura ends up being taken by the wrong bodyguard when she arrives at the meeting. Massimo and Nacho rush to find her and see Laura being confronted by Adriano and Anna. Nacho insists that, despite lying about his identity, he truly fell in love with Laura. When Massimo refuses to hand over the family business to his brother, Adriano and Anna kidnap Laura. Later, Adriano is holding Laura hostage and taunting his brother about Laura's miscarriage. To save her, Massimo and Nacho work together, but things get intense when Laura gets shot by Anna just as she tried to escape. Meanwhile, Massimo, filled with anger, shoots his brother, and Nacho shoots Anna in the chest. Although Nacho appears ready to shoot Massimo, he eventually drops his gun and walks away. The movie ends with a cliffhanger, with Massimo holding Laura's bloodied body. The scene is very dramatic, leaving it unclear who is actually dead as Massimo holds Laura in the final shot. Anna is probably dead and maybe Adriano is too. While the movie is slightly different from the second book, especially with Nacho's character, it ended similarly with Laura being shot. However, a significant difference is that she was still pregnant with Massimo's baby. But those who have read Blanka Lipinska's book series know that at the beginning of the third book, Massimo faces the decision of saving Laura or their unborn child. He chooses Laura but doesn't tell her why she miscarried. Fortunately, the third movie won't replicate this troubling plot thread as she survives and returns for 365 Days 3. However, we could expect Laura to be alive in the third movie, likely saved by Massimo. Or perhaps the threequel will feature 2 hours of Massimo's grief sex accompanied by constant sad songs on the soundtrack. Well, fans didn't have to wait long for the next 365 days to conclude their love story. If you're just catching up, you can just watch the final part to discover what happens next. So, fans' reactions to the new 365 Days movie have been mixed. Some shared that there is less plot and more intimacy between the characters. Others trashed the plot twists. Some praised the fact that the film remains true to its soul and gets going with the romantic thriller storyline. Some said the background music is too frequent in the sequel and it looks like a music video, criticizing the music, cringy storyline, and unexpected ending. Despite its popularity, the film was universally criticized by viewers, with criticism aimed at its ideas of promoting mafia and heavy use of sex sequences that included sexual violence, drawing comparisons to the 50 Shades trilogy. It is considered one of the worst films of all time. Well, if you like the stories from Wattpad or else have watched movies like After or 50 Shades of Grey, it would be a perfect movie for you. Here is a thought to wrap it up. What do you think fate holds for Laura and Massimo in the thrilling finale of 365 Days? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.